Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon Wound pickups.
Hey everybody, this is me, Todd Novak. We are thrilled to death that you are listening to our show, the Guitar Knobs podcast. Woo-hoo. We are very excited to be hanging out together on this night of evening.
Aye.
Yes, talking about things we love.
Aye.
Yes. Tony Baloney.
Yes.
What are we doing on the show, bud?
We like to talk about gear, and we like to talk about, and too sometimes, builders of gear, boutique builders, if you will. Most of the times.
Yes.
Pedal stuff.
Pedals and
amps.
Guitars and amps and pedal boards and pickups and
all kinds of stuff.
And then we do
Learning
the occasional 101 where Jared learns something.
Yeah,
That's right.
We all do. It's good stuff.
I appreciate it.
For those of you who are listening for the first time, this is going to be a fun show for you, and I hope you enjoy it.
It's going to be earth-shattering.
Yes. Hey, who do we have on the line tonight?
We got Kyle McIntyre from the Tone Jerks.
And I got Brian Gower from the Tone Jerks podcast.
All right.
Excellent. Tone Jerks, fellow podcastians.
We're brothers with La Familia.
Yes.
That's right.
So you guys, when are you calling from right now?
From San Diego, California.
We'll skip the meaning of that. Well, gentlemen, bear with us. We have a few announcements we need to get through.
All right.
For everybody who's listening, follow along. You can go check out the Tone Jerks on Instagram. I would say probably, am I guessing right, at the Tone Jerks?
You got it.
Perfect. Go check them out if you're not familiar. And by the end of this, you will be very familiar, and you will listen to their show, and you will like it in all likelihood.
Wow.
Although I cannot guarantee that.
I like it.
Jeez.
Yes, our lawyers will kill us if we had them. Couple of announcements real quick. So we need a big fat thank you to Rode Mics.
Thank you.
Rode Mics out all the way from Australia and in LA. That's their other hub there.
Articulating arms.
That's right. The articulating arms on the on the Procaster mic.
Microphone.
Right.
Yes, there's lots of names involved with Rode.
With the windscreen.
Yeah.
With the windscreen, yeah, these mics are fantastic, and we've got some very, very special announcements coming up soon about Rode, but not right now.
Oh.
Yes, y'all, you're gonna have to listen.
What other Rode
for
gear
the
is
future.
there?
Well, we've got this beautiful little Rodecaster Pro. It's the Darth Vader of our table.
It's the heart
amazing.
and
it really kind
soul.
of does look like Darth Vader,
It's got
actually. If you
sound
think about
effects.
Nah, it looks more like
buttons.
R2-D2.
no, it doesn't. Look at
got sliders,
it's black and stuff.
red and
Anyways,
green buttons.
Hey, if you are thinking about starting a podcast, or if you're currently doing a podcast, continue to do that, and maybe try doing it with this machine. It is absolutely fantastic. It's also great for recording. Like if you got a little band in your basement, or you're an at-home musician, want to record yourself. This is great for doing it. So anyways, check that out. Thank you very much, Rode. We also want to give a big old shout out to Barefoot Buttons. They've been helping us out along, not only on our show, but under our feet. All of the musicians out there that have the Barefoot Buttons underneath their feet on the pedals, they are fantastic for gigging.
Makes it easier.
I cannot say that enough. It is so helpful. You can color code them, which is very helpful, so that you're not losing the color on the actual pedal. So if you got a red pedal, you don't have to get stuck with the red button. You can go get a blue one if you want.
Could you do a purple button?
You could do a purple one, and you can get things etched on it.
I love that. How'd they get rid of the claws off those bare?
That's a terrible joke, Tony. I'm not even gonna.
I liked it.
No. I say no.
Yes.
No.
You're outvoted, Todd.
So, anyways, hey, and make sure. Listen, go check them out. These are great people in the business. They're really good people, and they make a great product. So, big
No-brainer.
Thanks to
No-brainer.
Barefoot Buttons, and we also this is a podcast dedication night, folks. We have aside from the executive producer, within the executive producer realm, we have a level above within.
That's the executive producer?
Yes, that's there's not another name for it. I should have given another name for it. I didn't think about it.
Premium
Do
executive
they get keys to the bathroom, the washroom?
No. Not ours. They don't want anything to have to do with it.
Moving on up.
Okay, so this is for Cody Foster. He is the leader of the band The Exit Strategy and also co-host of That Vinyl Show podcast. That should be pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah. We just got introduced to him. I'm going to definitely check that out. I think that's pretty rad.
I'll put that on my rotation.
I cannot wait.
He says, happy to support you, gentlemen. I love the show. I'm down in Cincinnati, so I essentially consider you all local. Well, hello in Cincinnati from here.
Yeah, that's
From Columbus.
That's relatively. I mean,
about 2 hours.
It's at least regional.
Couple hours.
45.
It's worth going down.
Yeah. So he says, my main gear of choice is a 1994 made in Japan Fender Photoflame Nashville Telecaster.
That's a great one.
Yep. As well as a 2007 hot rodded made in Mexico Nashville Telecaster.
Nice.
And a 2000 Top Hat Club Royale 20 combo.
Now we're talking fancy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So interesting fact on those photo flames.
Yep.
There is a demon on the back because they're all decals, and you can actually see the demon's eyes and its mouth and nose.
Really?
They're all it's all the same because it's a decal that they apply.
Yeah.
In the shoot over. But yeah.
Interesting.
If you have a Japanese with photo flame neck, look for the demon.
Tear it off. Look on the back.
No, you don't have to tear it off.
Back on,
no, you can actually see it on the back of the neck.
Oh.
You don't even have to take the guitar apart.
Okay. All right.
It's there.
All right. I don't know why you told them to do that, to tear the guitar apart. Anyways, he says his
Like
favorite...
you said, Todd.
Yeah. His favorite part of the show is just hearing the guests talk about how they got to where they are. That's
what we like to hear,
That's
too.
why we're doing it. Hearing their journey to building, modding, etc. is really neat. Rock on, gentlemen, and rock on to you, Cody Foster. Thank you for your exemplary support of
Thank
our
you.
show.
Jeez.
What's going on this week in our music worlds, gentlemen? We're going to start off with Tony, and then we're gonna do
Work
a little
our way around the
sidestep
room.
over to Brian and Kyle.
Oh, that's nice.
All right.
It's nice
Do
to
it.
let the guests come on. And
Do
try
it,
that,
Tony.
too.
All right.
Stop talking and talk.
Stop talking and talk. I'm so confused.
Which way did it go? I don't even know.
This week, okay, so I needed a case to fit one of my melody makers.
Yes.
And as you probably know, melody makers are shallower than a Les Paul, but they will fit in a Les Paul case.
That white one.
No, the white one, I've got I have the Joan Jett case for that.
Yeah.
And even that case is too tall for it.
Oh.
So I went over to DH Gate, one of my favorite.
Shut up. Did you find one?
I found a Les Paul case for it was under $50 shipped from China.
Wow.
I don't know how they do this.
I don't know either.
Other than it's a $2 case that has, $48 worth of shipping tacked on it. I really don't know, but I'm curious. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, but it's
You ordered it an hour ago.
No.
Oh, okay.
I ordered it about a week ago, I guess.
Okay.
And
It's a black.
no, it's got quilted kind of leatherette.
Quilted leatherette.
How it's. I'll show you a picture of it.
That sounds
I hope
awesome.
you actually get it.
But it's not black?
No, it's
color is
it's
it?
brown. It's that color.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know, but it was $50.
That's not the reaction I was thinking I was
I
gonna
hope you
have.
really
I'm just
get it.
saying. But it's interesting. It's very cool.
No, it will. But I guess my point is, I like sometimes dipping my toe in the international water to see, if my toe comes out of that water.
Yeah.
Let me know if you actually get it.
No, I mean it's already tracking, Dave. It's tracking here
It's in
tomorrow.
the mail.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you. Well, I'm saying this because our little buddy Zach and Big Buford, they each ordered the cheapest guitar they possibly could find. They're going to do a video on it.
That sounds fun.
They're both like $60, and he's bought from this China place before. And one guitar went to Tennessee to a hairdressing shop.
That's what happened to Tony's Dan
And then
Armstrong guitar.
then the other
just kidding.
guitar, then the other guitar got shipped somewhere, other random spot, and the guy's not even responding anymore. He's not going to, he's like, nah, you're not going to get your stuff.
I mean, if
Not
I got
even
one in the
responding.
mail, I don't know if Yeah, yes,
I
I
got
would
a
do the
guitar,
right thing.
huh?
I would do the right thing.
Todd would always do the right thing.
I will always do the right thing.
But anyhow, I'll keep you posted. It's like I said, should be here tomorrow. And if
Yeah.
it's a decent case, a new Les Paul case for.
Now that in black, I mean, I could get behind, but it does look like a lady's purse a little bit.
I do like a lady's purse.
Let me
It
know
matches
if you
my lady's purse.
You guys, this is. I mean, it's weird. It looks like an armadillo.
Yeah, sort of.
It does. It's
Yeah.
like diamond. It's yeah.
And it's got a red interior like an armadillo.
Too.
Yeah.
I see the armadillo.
You ever slice over one of those boys?
That's sick as hell.
Hey, can you You need to post that on the podcast
Okay.
group. On
Yeah,
the
I will.
group. Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, I want one of those now.
I kind of do too, but in black, not armadillo color.
Jared's a copycat.
All right. Hey,
I am.
who did I hear say they were going first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Because mine is not as fun as Kyle's. So
Okay.
we get bore you guys real quick. So okay, my what's to do is a little bit boring, but I'm excited about it. I bought an amp cover for one of my combo amps. Woo!
Wow.
Howdy!
I get it.
No.
Slow down there, Turbo. So
like
recently we've kind of been switching to gigging with smaller combo amps in our band because it was like, we started out like, when we were in high school, like we need 4x12s, we need 8x10s, we need to just be as loud as we can. And then now it's like, oh, you know what? We can get by almost all gigs with a 1x12 50 watt. So I play a Rock Reverb 50 1x12.
Nice.
And we've been able to like go to gigs. And Kyle switched to he still has some of his other amps, but mainly his gigging amp has been TerraBass 500 from Orange. It's a 2x12 combo that is like, it's their isobaric smart power design where it's like speaker in front of a speaker.
Weird.
So you get 500 watts from using the speakers, but it's only like the size of a 1x12.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
And so we're able to fit both our combos and all the gear, guitars, merch into the your Crown Vic.
Yeah.
So we're able to go to gigs
Cop car.
in a car. And I'm like, dude, once you're like gigging locally, like that's kind of, I don't know, I'm loving that. It's kind of the opposite of like the rock and roll thing. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want a small amp. And having a amp cover is really cool. It's just a little bit more protection for the, controls and stuff.
Well, you won't spill your beer on the amp while you're, driving.
I've done that before. You are, I think you know me.
Jared, that's illegal. You can't drink and
amp is
drive
really
even in
thirsty.
California.
Well, the passenger, not the,
Yeah.
not the driver.
That's not legal either. Don't worry, officer. I wasn't driving.
I got a cover on the amp. We're good.
Yeah, my amp's safe.
It's not good. But yeah.
Well, that's cool.
It's just kind of a drag how much they are. Like I want one for my Supro, but it's like I think it's about $50. I'm like, man, I could think of 100 other things I'd want to spend $50 on.
I think because mine is a discontinued model. They've moved on to like from Mark II to Mark III for Orange. And I got it for $20. Shipped.
What?
And
Nice.
It shipped.
Nice.
It shipped. It got to my house in less than 24 hours. And I was like,
Gee,
can't beat that with a stick.
that's
And
Amazon
I was like,
quick.
it was actually on Amazon.
Oh, there you go.
I feel you on that though, because I bought a couple of Marshall heads about 3 or 4 months ago, and they both came with the original cases. And they
Said
were from
only
the
Jared
70s.
ever. I bought a couple of Marshall heads a couple of months ago.
You might have
Yeah, you
heard.
gotta
was
get
at
a
a
couple,
guitar
not just one.
Anyway, they came with the they came with the original, and one was all taped up and it had all the goo on it, but I took all the tape off and
That's where the tone's at, dude.
Yeah, in the goo,
Yeah.
the tone goo.
Yeah, tone goo.
that's right.
Yeah. So it's a little bit boring, but I don't know. I've really dig it to like have, be able to like kind of stack amps, and kind of when we do load-ins, we play like anywhere from like really small bars to like, for like 50 capacity all the way to like, sometimes we'll play like 1,500 capacity shows opening
Nice.
for bands. And I'm like, sometimes when you're playing those bars, you're stacking in like the kitchen area, your gear.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, cool. Everybody's stacking on my Orange, and just rip that Tolix apart, pal.
Yep.
You've
And so if I
convinced
have a
me.
cover,
I'm going to
yeah.
get mine now, doggone it. And Christmas is
Yeah.
coming, and Santa's going to deliver it.
Have you been a good boy though?
No.
Well, oh geez, it's a rough one, I tell you. But yeah.
So let's see. Let's hop over to Jared, and then we'll come back to Kyle.
Oh, Kyle's got a good one.
All right, Jared,
so-
hit us.
First of all, I bought an amp just out of pure nostalgia. I got a PV VT or a classic VT series from like the late 70s, early 80s.
And you guys crapped all over me for getting my VTX.
The only reason I got mine was because of the phaser on it.
Yeah, they have phasers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's
Set phasers to stun.
Yes.
well, the reason the first band I was in when I was, I don't know, 15 or 16, I had that amp and that phaser sound was in most of those songs.
Yes.
And
Because you couldn't turn it off, right? Was it
right.
the whole
Well,
time?
no,
Did not have a foot
off,
switch.
but it's like one of the only effects I could have. I had and I could
Does yours
afford.
have a foot switch?
It was on the amp. No, I gotta find it.
Yeah,
it's not
those
gonna
are
be
tough.
easy.
Those are really tough.
Yeah.
You got to talk to Rob from Mad Cow. He's got a couple of
We'll
hookups.
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Actually, he put the dummy switch on the back of mine. It works
No
great.
kidding. But anyway, that
Perfect
that
for
was
you.
a small
Yeah.
thing. The big thing, my buddy Chris and I, we went up to Cleveland to the Rock Hall of Fame last night. They had like this party opening deal schmilly do, and with the Play It Loud display, and that's several different new pieces that they put in there for display, and they had a party. Don Felder was there, Nancy Wilson, and what's his name from it? The bass player, and Kirk Hammett from Metallica was there.
Oh, dang.
I took pictures of Nancy Wilson and Don because I didn't. I
You're
could
a
have
big
took
fan of Heart.
Big fan of Heart, yeah. I didn't get to talk to them, but they were in this room, and a Sweetwater has this big room there, and they do interviews and all sorts of things, and you can see them through the glass window and all that. So it was like looking through a candy store and wishing you can go in.
Did you have your nose pressed up to the glass?
Licking your lips.
I was like,
Fog in the glass.
Nancy Wilson right there. So we did that. I took a picture of some really cool guitars, a Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar, Keith Richards burst with the Bigsby on it. It was great. And then we kind of skedaddled. We were really upset because Chris was under the impression that the Jimmy Page, like Song Remains the Same equipment was going to be there.
Yeah.
Jimmy's number one.
And number one in the double neck, not there.
Not there.
Not there.
Not there?
Not there.
Maybe there's going to be a Zeppelin tour.
No. It wasn't there, and neither was Eddie Van Halen's the gear that was over in.
I would have asked
New
for
York.
my money back.
But there was other Eddie Van Halen stuff.
Yeah.
No, it was worth it. We had a really good time.
That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, so
It's fun. It's expensive to get in there.
it wasn't bad.
It's relative.
Okay.
If you remember, it was only
I
$30,
don't know what that even
and then
means.
it's we
if
paid
you
$50.
remember, it's 30
You got your members only jacket when you go in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You had
Bobby.
a Barracuda.
I had to pay the higher price. I'm not a member.
Okay, let's head over to Kyle.
All right, so I dropped off a guitar at a guitar shop recently. And I had a couple issues with it, and I basically planned out a whole build. I acquired it's like a parts build basically, and I noticed like a crack down the middle of the guitar, and I was like, oh, that's not
That's
good.
never
It's
a
a
good
Warmoth body. No, it was a Warmoth body, and I don't know if it was. I bought it from Arizona. And coming over here, I don't know if temperature difference or something. Or, anyways, I took it to a shop. They actually fixed it up really nice. It's Repair Zone, local guys here. And actually, I threw some Brandon wound pickups in it.
Nice.
Hey-o.
Hey.
The Super Distortions, and they're the really nice looking with this thing, man. They're amazing. No holes in it, just like the covers, all chrome. Man, it looks slick. I'll have to
They're super cool.
send you guys a picture. Brian's
Thank you.
holding it right now.
I could see myself in it. And
I can see myself in this
the pickups look better than me. So I love.
Just angle it away from your
Yeah,
face.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it, I still have to set it up and everything, but it actually sounds really, really good. It doesn't sound like any of my other guitars. So, I don't know. I like humbuckers, and so this is like a humbucker I don't think I've ever heard before. So I think you were saying you did like 9Ks in the neck, and then 12s in the bridge.
Yeah.
You like customize the hell out of this thing, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to give you more meat in the bridge area because the neck is usually.
Yeah.
Quit laughing, Tony.
for those sweet solos.
Little meat in the bridge areas. No, I wanted to give you
that's where it matters, bro.
more oomph in the bridge, just to get that neck and bridge volume balance. Yeah. Well, no, seriously,
there goes that clean rating.
Yeah.
Really glad you like. When I do custom stuff like that, I get antsy and I'm like, man, I hope that really works. I
Jared
hope it really
takes
works.
a lot of pride in what he does, and he makes good products. So.
And he delivers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. I mean, it was super quick. Oh man, I'm really stoked.
Now all you need is a custom pick guard.
Oh yeah, definitely. And actually, got some plans.
Actually, yeah, it's funny because Kyle did hit you up about doing like custom pickguard work, and I think it was through our Instagram. And I saw the message, and I was like, "Oh, Kyle's gonna read it." And Kyle's like, "He never got back to me." And I'm like, "He totally did."
Yeah, just yesterday. Yeah, he got back to me.
Like it was like a month ago. So he's got some cool ideas for this.
Yeah. Well,
technology. You know?
Yeah, just either shoot me an email or whatever. Well, I'll get I'll
call
take care
him.
of you guys.
Yeah, just that way Brian can't read it and ruin it for him.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll find a way to join the call. Like, what's up, fellas?
You got to pick up the phone and tell the operator to connect you to Tony.
Use your
Hello,
rotary phone.
overseas. Todd,
over
do
the
you
wire.
have anything going on
Yes.
this week? No.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I guess we go right into the 4 on the floor.
No. I got stuff. So I did make a post because I have been insanely busy, which is good for work, but it's also it makes it hard to do other stuff that I really love doing, which is editing show and getting stuff out there. But when things arrive in the mail, I stop everything and I get to it and
Drop your tools.
I do. Well, I drop those and I pick up new ones like this cherry box from Lollygagger.
That's a beautiful.
Ooh, Shawnee boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So he shot that out, and it was a ton of fun to play. And I mean, what a build this thing is. You get it out of the box. Even my wife was like, "Wow, that's beautiful," and it's a joy to play. I mean, it sounds flipping fantastic, and it's engineered well, and it's a total original. It's like nothing out there is like this. Sounds like it, looks like it. It's pretty dang cool. So we're sending it around the horn. I gave it to Tony. Tony?
Yes. The FUBAR channel is a little bit over the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be.
It is.
But no, it's actually really. I mean, it's a good sounding pedal. I mean, the build of it is what really stands out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the fact that he takes the time to do a wooden box, and then even the circuitry inside is just kind of cool to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a guy building it up there. So thanks so much to Sean for sending that to us. Jared's going to get this next.
I can't wait.
I'm officially handing this to you, Jared.
Thank you.
Yep, and then don't drop it. Actually, if you do drop it, it doesn't matter. He's done the videos where he rolls over them with the car.
Dude, this is maple, isn't it? Or oak?
It is.
Oak
I'm
or
not
maple?
a treologist.
Hardwoods. It's a beautiful box.
A lark.
I think it might be cherry.
I want to buy
Maybe
it.
that's why it's called Cherry Box.
That could very well be. But
Bingo.
I think it's cherry.
That would make sense. So anyways, that's a ton of fun. Thank you again to Sean for sending that out. If you guys aren't familiar out there with Lollygagger effects, you need to be, because he's got two pedals that are really, really outstanding. The Canaglia is
that
in a class of its
that
own.
makes a lot of our lists.
Okay, blammo.
1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor.
All right, Tone Jerks, Brian and Kyle, give us your 4 on the floor.
All right, so I'm gonna start mine off. I'm bassist, right? So
Get that out of the way first.
even though I talked guitars earlier, I'm really at my core a bassist.
Sure.
So everything I say after this is null and void to most people probably.
Bam.
I have a TC Polytune that I use, the mini, the black mini.
Yes.
Works really good for outside, for bright. It's I've had other tuners that kind of suck when you get outside or just low light or but it does its job, and that's what I love about it.
Those things are
Can't
fantastic.
ask
That's
for
what I got on
anything
my
more.
board.
Yeah.
I don't have
It
the
doesn't
black
make-
one. I have the white one though, but that doesn't matter.
It doesn't make noise like I've heard other tuners, like it makes some high pitch, doesn't make high pitched squeal.
Yeah. So the chord's pitch black I had, and it needed its own isolated power. Like,
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Let's talk. Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right.
This is 5 on the floor. All right.
On that note, they just came out with the 3, the Polytune 3, which is fully buffered, which is
Yeah, I have one of those.
pretty cool.
It's not my 4 on the floor though.
So why are you talking?
Well, I pretty much I bought the Polytune 3 and then I gave Kyle my old one.
Yeah.
That's why
I
he
got
has it.
scraps. I got scraps everywhere.
That's all right. Not bad.
Nice.
Next is a compressor, also super exciting, from Ground Control Audio. It's the Serpens compressor. It's optical.
Yep.
I use it to
That's a beautiful
control
pedal.
the clip. It is. I'm a sucker for graphics. So I'm like, I don't care what that sounds like. I want it. It's a compressor. I want it. I have it just barely there. So it just evens out my tone. So I have a smaller amp I don't want to flub out, and that's what I really use it for, is just keeping everything nice and smooth. And then I have an Earthquaker Westwood that I use just for light dirt I add onto the bass.
Mhm.
I like having a little bit of grit on there, stand out a little bit. I use it really for the EQ though. EQ is really, really nice on that. I have it at Unity for the volume, and just use that EQ to sculpt and kind of, get what I want out of that. And then the Tech 21 bass driver. So I use it as a DI, and I kind of use it as an amp itself, and use the it's really for front of house if they need it. It works really well into an amp. I can add some dirt if I really wanted to, but it's like a really boring pedal board that I use, but I use all these pedals all the time, and it works well for all of my amps that I use. I use like three different rigs that I have, and they can just kind of customize it for those, and it works really well.
That sounds pretty rad.
Yeah. We just talked a couple of weeks ago. I picked up one of the acoustic DIs, the Sans amps, the little pedals,
Nice.
and I used them years and years ago, but I needed something for the occasional acoustic gig. And it's a very similar pedal. I think, does the bass have the parametric EQ on it? I can't remember. But
For
yeah.
what?
the Sans amp bass DI versus the acoustic DI. But yeah, they're solid pedals, and that's for either bass or acoustic
Yeah,
guitar.
I've never had a problem with it. It's always been there for me. And I've only heard people oh, it's just a simple pedal. I'm like, yeah, but it's rescued me. It's there if my amp blows up, it's there. But yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm really surprised that someone hasn't basically come up with Jam Pedals does a multi analog pedal box, right? So in it's a big format.
Yeah.
I can't believe, and maybe there's one out there that I'm not aware of, but that someone hasn't put basically the standard bass pedal board into one of those, because it's basically everybody uses the same couple of pedals for bass, generally speaking.
Well, Tech 21 does. They call them fly rigs.
Okay.
And it's like a extended pedal.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
a boutique
JHS used
builder.
to do one. Yeah.
Yeah.
JHS used to do one that had a compressor, a drive, and then I think it was a boost or something in it. It had an EQ all in one pedal. They discontinued it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I'm I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Kyle's where you can kind of pick and choose what you have in there.
Yeah.
It's funny. Most of those pedals have an option for drive, so I can just go crazy if I wanted to.
Yeah, the compressor for sure.
Yeah.
Even the compressor, yeah.
All right. So was that 4?
I counted 4.
Man, oh man, that was fast.
Actually 5 if you
Sorry.
count the other tuner.
No, that's
Just to slow down my voice.
The more, the better.
So tuners are cool.
Actually-
right, guys?
on that note, just for fun, there are a couple. We accidentally were playing one of the episodes. One of the listeners accidentally start playing one of our episodes at the half speed on like iTunes or whatever, and he was just,
It's a Cheech and Chong movie.
Yo, dude.
We did it, and I mean we were crying. It was absolutely hilarious.
I lost it, man. It was funny.
And it just happened to be one of those particular ones where I think we were all really tired and punchy to begin with, so it sounded extra dopey, you know. Anyways, well, that's a good 4 on the floor, man. Thank you for sharing. How about Brian?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So I play guitar in the band, and so my main rig is like I play out of a multi-effects fractal. So this was actually a lot of fun to figure out. Okay, actually pedals that I use. I do like playing pedals, and I kind of like to switch it up every once in a while and do a full-on, analog pedal-y kind of pedal board, and going into the front of the amp and not using 4-cable method and MIDI switching, all that stuff. This was really cool. I picked my 4 favorite ones. So here we go. Starting it off is I guess I'm cheating. This is a 2-in-1 pedal from Copper Sound Pedals. Is the Foxcatcher? His drive
great
roots.
pedal.
Yeah, good pedal.
I know Alex over there. It's his take on the Blues Breaker for the drive section. It's so great. I've been like in love with Blues Breakers recently. Like there's so much, like, it's not a huge gain range, but it's like for like the attack that it adds to it, and for us, we play like punk rock, and like it's totally there. You can add it on like maybe a very like neutral, boring sounding amp, throw that on there, and that's your gain, or mix that with the amp's gain, stuff like that. And Blues Breaker, circuits and drive pedals kind of have that tendency to get very like ice picky, and they can be like very with the
Get you right in the feelings.
And you can dial that back with the amp EQ and kind of do that. But I mean, he has the nature knob, which is basically like a presence, and that in conjunction with the tone knob, and with obviously like the gain and stuff like that, you can get super usable amounts of like distortion or gain and drive and pushing amps, or just that standalone. And then one of my favorites, I've owned separately the Gravity Bomb Boost, and that's an always-on pedal for me. It's basically like a buffer, and it just adds more clarity to everything. Like, to me, like, keep that always on. And then, like, if having this pedal, I'm like, I would keep the Gravity Bomb always on, maybe just like kind of barely there, just like sparkling up the sound, and stack on the drive section, because they're independent of each other, the boost and drive. And then they have like a switchable order, so it's super versatile pedal, and really cool looking box too.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to give a shout out to former guests and awesome people out there. Alex doing his thing.
Totally. And he's been a guest on your guys' show, and he's been on ours. Yep. And he's killing it. He's a lot of fun. So moving on to my modulation, I have the Southampton utility knife.
Yes.
And this is, I guess, another cheater here.
It's on my board.
Because it's one pedal, but it's 4 things in one.
It's crazy.
It's a phaser that sounds killer. It's a flanger that sounds great. It's a chorus that sounds great. Killer, and tremolo all in one. And so if you're playing a show and you're like, okay, I need to have like a chorus. To me, I use a lot of phaser, and then every once in a while we do those 80s covers where I need a chorus. And so guess what? I like having pretty much the same settings for both phaser and chorus. And I just go click it over in between songs. I'm like, ready to go, guys. And then, it sounds great. It's so cool. It's such a cool pedal. I'm like, it's, you can have like those giant modulation computers or whatever, and you don't need that. This thing just knocks it out of the park. I don't know why this thing isn't all over the place.
It's interesting because when, I think some people need or want or use loads and loads of modulation and stacking modulation and, all that kind of thing, which is totally cool. That is not my particular bag of chips, and it doesn't sound like it's yours either, which is why the utility knife is so perfect, because I'm using flanger on one song.
Yeah.
For like a bit, and I'm using phaser on one song for just a little bit. I'm literally just punching in and punching out. So the idea of having 2 separate pedals on my board for those 2 things for that one moment is like,
you're like,
yeah.
Yeah, I got that like year, I don't know, like over a year and a half ago, something like that. We saw him at NAMM, talked to him, and then I think I totally did listen to the episode that he was on, and he mentioned that thing. Like, oh, research. I'm like, that is cool.
Yeah.
I need that pedal so bad. Since I've had it, I'm like, it's probably one of my favorite like pedals because it has so much versatility.
Absolutely. If you are a player who just wants to have a couple little punch-ins, wants to experiment, maybe is even just, sometimes you want to explore what a pedal can do for your sounds, but committing to an entire pedal is a little bit much, maybe. So it's a great way to actually get. Tony's giving me the weird eyebrows. What?
Committing to
you guys should get more pedals.
Yeah, committing.
Oh, instead of buying 4 different pedals.
Yeah, like if you're if you're writing a song, you're like, man, I feel like because that's exactly what happened. I had this spot in the song, and I'm like, this needs something. It needs a little something extra that I don't have. But I didn't want to go out and spend $100+ on a flanger.
Yeah, it's like buying the sampler at Chili's, you know. Get all
Exactly.
Samplers at Chili's always
There you
end
go.
bad.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
It's better. Hamish is making a great pedal. Thank you, Hamish, for making that pedal. We appreciate it.
Definitely.
All right.
And then moving on to delay, because you got to have delay, you know what I'm saying? Like My Pedals, Wells Delay. So Like My Pedals is the name of the company, and he has an analog delay pedal that's it fits MXR size pedals, so it's not huge, but it has subdivisions and tap tempo all in one thing. It's super easy to use. You're not going to have like a million menus or whatever. I'm like, oh, I got my Strymon, I got my DD500. You can have that in there. It's super fun, easy to use, and he does custom graphics. He does have a production model of the Wells Delay, and Joseph, he's really cool. I mean, he's all like kind of one guy operation out of Florida, hand soldering everything. And the fact that he made like a analog delay pedal with digital tap tempo and subdivision control and stuff like that. And then he'll put it into a custom box for you.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah. We have one that is kind of his production model. And then I liked it so much, I ordered another one and a custom graphic. I'll just cut to the chase. I like anime, and I was like, hey, can you put this, one of my favorite characters on the pedal?
I'm just saying that.
Sorry, everybody. So he was like,
sorry, mom and dad.
He's like, I'll totally do it. Okay, cool. He sent him the graphic. He was able to work it out, and he did like above and beyond, even just with the artwork. He, color coded the knobs to the look of the pedal, the sparkle paint of the bass finish, and he had custom, he had LEDs that he's like, oh, I found like turquoise that matched this and that, and then he went with this.
Cool.
And he just went above and beyond. It's so cool. It's so fun, and it's a great sounding pedal.
Yeah.
And so just to have like it's an MXR size delay that has that much packed into it,
and it's bespoke. That's the coolest part.
Yeah,
it's made just for you.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I'll never sell it because I don't think anybody wants to buy it. There you go. And last one is, I like reverbs and stuff like that, but I have found that I just like a simple, basic spring reverb.
Okay.
That sounds good. I want it to easy to dial in and to sound good. And so I have the Wampler mini faux spring reverb. Sometimes when I play with amps and stuff like that, I just have it barely there, just a little splash of reverb.
Yeah, just a kiss.
It's a kiss. It's it's like eating an egg without salt. You gotta have a little bit of reverb on your guitar. You gonna play guitar without reverb?
Well, that is true. Very true.
I'm digging it. And the Wampler, he's Brian Wampler. We all know who he is.
Yeah,
he's the man. He's crushing it.
Yeah,
killer pedals. I have a Tumnus, and I really like that thing. But that mini spring reverb, when he came out with the mini version, I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
I was super stoked on it.
Done.
I love it.
Yeah. That's good. Well, you managed to hit 3 of our former guests. If you have been following along with this right now, and you haven't listened to any of those episodes, people out there, go back check our interview with Brian Wampler, our interview with Hamish Haynes, and our interview with Alex from Copper. Sound pedals, and boy, oh boy, that Wells that's the second time that's made it onto the onto the 4 on the floor. So that's cool, man.
Definitely,
I want to get
it's
one.
super cool.
Well, I guess we have to talk to you guys about other stuff now. Jared's
Instead of
dying
plugging
over
old episodes, we got to talk to you.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay. So we've talked about we introduced you guys obviously as podcasters on your own. You have a show. It is called The Tone Jerks. How long have you guys been doing that?
We're about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Awesome.
I think we started at the end. Yeah, no, it's been 2 years. We started at the end of October, 2017. Yeah, we're at 100 something episodes.
We're all grown up.
104 episodes. So yeah, I guess it's
I'm going to be talking to you as though I don't even know you or know anything about you, so that all the other people won't assume that you know, so they can play along too. So what this was, I think this is a catalyst, at least for conversation that I find myself in whenever talking about podcast stuff. But what was the spark that made you guys say we should do this?
It was really I had never been into podcasts at all. It was I think I've heard of them. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then we were on tour once, and we were kind of in the middle of nowhere. We had no cell phone reception, no 3G, 4G, none of that stuff. We were kind of just like, all right, we're stuck in the van. So what are we going to listen to? So our tour manager, friend, Muscle, whatever, who was with us at the time,
Muscle,
Peter
he loaned in those cabs and stuff. He was totally into podcasts, and he's a comedian. And he's moved on. He's actually pretty successful in LA at now. Austin Train, so shout out.
Oh, nice.
He was really into comedy podcasts because you're a comedian, you listen to comedy podcasts, stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, I have a podcast if you guys want to listen to it." And I was like, "All right, I don't know what that is. Can you get that without cell phone reception?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I downloaded a bunch of them. You can just listen to it." And we started listening to it. I loved it. I was like, "This is so funny. This is great." And then so I started getting more into it, the ones that he suggested. And I was like, oh, cool, a couple of comedy podcasts. Of course, you get into whatever, Joe Rogan, Mark Maron. And I'm like, these are cool, not quite my thing.
Yeah.
And then you think, well, there's got to be podcasts of things that I like. So I searched guitar into iTunes, podcast app. And, guitar podcast came up, 60 Cycle Hum, Guitar Nerds, Tone Mob, and actually you guys,
Nice.
Guitar Knobs, and
this surprises you why?
and
Finally we're here.
Yeah, we were quite young back then.
Started at the bottom, and now we're here. and so I was really into it. I was like, dude, I'm listening to all these podcasts, and I talked to a friend, and she was like, well, why don't you just start one?
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
what?
I guess I could, because I know how to do audio. I record audio for the band. And so I think I'm like, okay, audio recording. If I can mic drums and record them and guitar and EQ and mix and master an album, I'm pretty sure I could do 2 vocals and figure that out in Pro Tools. So I was okay, cool. I know I have that know-how, but what am I going to do? And so I started thinking and started pushing things back and forth. And I was like, okay, Kyle, would you want to do this with me? I was
kind of reluctant
at first, and the idea originally was to interview people in San Diego and to really help push and promote local music and scene and stuff like that, and people who are in bands and stuff like that. But that quickly became a big chore. And Todd, I think getting guests on the show and planning and does it's a lot of work, right?
It is a huge amount of work. It seriously is. It is there's no way for people to appreciate how much time and
exactly.
It's a juggle, man.
We appreciate you though.
Behind the scenes, Todd, you have this down. You got you have this calendar. You have this. They have write links and go here. I'm like, yeah, no, you got it down. It's super organized.
Thank you.
And I definitely am not that guy. And so so that was the original idea. And so, Kyle was the first guest. I'm like, hey, can you do this with me? And we kind of did an interview of yes, I know Kyle is my friend and the bass player in the band, and we've known each other since we were kids. let's just do an episode and introduce you, and talk about it. And then it was like, oh, cool. It was like really, not awkward at first, but like being on a mic,
Sure.
You're kind of like, oh, what do I do? And then, so we started doing that. And then I had another friend do the second episode. And then I was like, okay, Kyle, I want to do another one. Can you just come back and just like, let's just hang out on mic. And it was at that point.
I don't want to hang out. I don't know about that.
It was at that point that Kyle was like, oh yeah, I'll totally do this. And he was like, you know what? You're co-host now.
I'm like the guest, that never left,
And it was cool. From there, it just became Kyle and I a conversation. We have guests, and originally it was supposed to, like, they were coming on and being like interview, and then I'm like, dude, I can't Joe Rogan these guys. And people coming in, and like we started getting more interest in like builders and stuff like that. I'm like, our show is like more of a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They're not interviews, and we just do topics. So kind of our show is formatted in the way that we do What's New. We catch up, we hang out, and then we do a couple topics. Kyle and I either tee off on them and just like go to town, or we just joke around. And I think that really has become the show. So over all these episodes, it went from being like an idea, and I think that's kind of with anybody starting a podcast. Just do it.
Yeah,
you'll never get it until you start doing it.
I really like. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's
exactly
what happens every single time.
I am the king of interrupters.
Yes.
No, that's what I like about all of the guitar podcasts that are on now is that none of them have the same format. So, I enjoy listening to other guitar podcasts
exactly
because of that. And it's fresh, and I like what you guys do. You guys don't mind about the language. I like that, So yeah, I'm all about
yes,
it.
We're keeping it clean today, but we are definitely we let the expletives fly, baby.
Yeah, no wrong with that.
Who are these guys?
Oh, I thought you spoke in Spanish on your podcast.
Nothing wrong with that.
The language thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow, you guys speak English pretty good as a second language.
I try at least.
You guys got that. You guys get that stupid California lingo down, and you sound like a bunch of dumb teenagers. Yeah, bro, it's tight. But it started just like really becoming a thing, and I like that we have found something that it's like we're totally like the idea was to be a guitar podcast and stuff like that, which I think we still are. And a friend coined this phrase for us, and I still like it. We're a musician's lifestyle podcast. We're not necessarily a gear podcast.
Yeah.
It's like we like gear, we talk about that, but we're also like we're in bands. Some people are like, I know Todd, you play music and you're in a band. You're like doing like local stuff, and I don't know if you're doing regional stuff, but like sometimes you might get in a van and be like, oh, cool, we're playing a show just tonight. Maybe we're doing whatever. It's like we talk about that kind of thing because sometimes you'll listen to shows where it's like, cool, I'm gonna listen to somebody talk about playing. Oh, we loaded into an arena. Somebody put my amp together, and then I played this thing. And I'm like, that's not me, man. I want to hear you sleeping in a van. I want to hear that you like are scraping by and trying to beg and like, running into the other person's like dressing room, and backstage and like loading up your backpack with beers that you stole from the main act. And then no one's ever done that before. Or maybe I just do that. And then, it's like, you got paid $100 and you're like, oh my goodness, we made it, baby.
Yeah.
I want to hear that kind of thing. So that's what we talk about.
I originally joined the podcast not really knowing anything, like not really caring about gear and not really owning any pedals. And so I kind of evolved into like this pedal monster where I like just to collect things. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
It's like Akira, that thing, and you just start pulling
like
everything.
The Dragon Balls. Like I've got to get all the Dragon Balls,
You got to catch them all, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Everything.
So, and then, kind of going into modding pedals. We talk about that kind of stuff. And, I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but I gotta
a lot of things
heat up the old soldering iron.
Yeah, a lot of things involved with like this gear thing that we do.
Yeah,
we touch on, recording and doing DIY booking and playing shows and stuff like that. And that's kind of what the show is. And it's really just Kyle and I riffing back and forth. We've been friends since we were like 8 years old.
Yeah,
and so awesome. Over 20 years we've been friends.
That's very cool.
Wow.
We've lived together. We've worked together. We've played in a band together since we were 15 years old. It's like we know each other. So I think a lot of people kind of gravitate towards that because like, oh, you guys are legitimately friends. You can hear that you like, we don't miss a beat sometimes. I'm like, everything is like going to be a bit. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to make a joke and somehow I shove that thing in there.
Trying to run each other's games,
Yeah, we do topics and like, it's really just like two friends on mic trying to, have fun and talk about stuff that like is music related.
Yeah.
And people are I think they're catching on and they like it. Like, wow, this is a little bit different, but it's really inspired by like, comedy podcasts. It's inspired by,
we're not comedians though.
Yeah, I would say like Tone Jerks is funny for a gear podcast, but it's not as funny as like Bill Burr or like Tim Dillon or something.
I mean,
we're not going to be on the Comedy Store headlining or anything.
Tone Jerks podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's really started out there. We just kept the ball rolling and just like we took feedback from people. I was like, oh yeah, cool. It's like somebody said. I'll call him out. Steve from 60 Cycle Home. He's like, I kind of don't like it when you guys have guests on. And he was a guest on the show.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so we switch it to now when we have people on, they just do topics like what we do.
Yeah.
It's like we do the what's new, kind of like you guys. Like, hey, how's it going? Da, 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 and we riff on that. And then we go into like two topics and we close out the show. And that's what the show is now. So even if guests come on, because we've had just recently like Daredevil Pedals. He was on and we just talked about. Yeah, it was so fun. That guy loves to talk. It's so fun. And we've had Sean on Copper Sound. We've had, like Alex. We've had those guys on the show. And like the thing is, I'm like, I'm not going to interview you guys because you guys have already been on Guitar Knobs.
Yeah, we want to catch your opinion on things.
Yeah, so I usually, and I say it every time a guest is on that has been on your guys' show or Tone Mob or something. I'm like, listen to their episode to get their backstory. Cool. Come back, and now we're going to do some topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. It's really just a conversation, just riffing back and forth. But yeah, all right. I'll take a breather here.
Yeah, there's no more.
Well, that was a great show. So we'll see.
Thank you very much.
I thought we were talking to Mask Audio for a second.
I know. Todd, you got to reel me in because I do this on my show. So.
No, man, I'm letting you guys roll. This is like, that's what it's about. It's not, we really try not to corral anybody, for any particular sake.
Well, what's the
Except for
script
Tony.
you just
I have
handed
to
me?
Corral Tony.
Yeah.
You never know it, but these shows are carefully scripted by Todd. It's like,
because I got time for that. You have this going on. You guys are playing in your band. You're in a groove. Mm-hmm. Have you found your pocket? You're staying here, or is this evolving? What are you doing?
Till we die.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So far, it's been catching on once we found what our like style is.
Yeah.
And it's rough. It's people can tune in, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. It's like. It's not to be like, oh, we're just setting up an iPhone and just talking into it, and it's a good production value, but the content is different than some other podcasts. You're saying, it's really cool because you can listen to us, you guys, any other guitar podcast, and you're not really going to get some of the same information.
No,
yeah,
because it's like you guys are doing the interviews. Sometimes you guys do the 101s. You guys are doing like, I guess a little more informative than we do. We give our, uneducated brunt, forced opinions on this. I don't like that. What about this?
I don't like fuzz. You know what? I do like fuzz.
You know what? I'm going to crack open a couple Miller Lights and we're going to rap.
There it is.
Yeah. And, it's a show. It's fun. And people can like that or they won't. If they think it's like, oh, it's a little bit unprofessional or whatever.
We're not for everyone.
And it's the way we take our band too. It's like, if you're trying to like chase that, dragon, with your music, you're not being true to yourselves. Mm-hmm. But the reason why the podcast has been so easy and people who do catch on to it they like it a lot is because it is genuinely us. There's no filter. There's nothing that we're trying to there's no agenda. There's nothing that we're trying to do or be fake. It's literally us.
Yeah.
You can listen to the show and you figure out, I'm like, oh, this is like the type of person that Kyle is. This is the type of person that Brian is. They're talking about this, and they're like, oh, that's cool. I'm into these guys. Or they'd be like, I really am not into these guys. And so they don't listen. And that's the beauty of podcasts, because there's thousands, millions probably of podcasts. I'm like, all right, let's move on to the next one.
Well,
I'm gonna listen to
it's one of those interesting things where you make something and you quickly realize that if you're not like on the mark for what you want, it seems to be a kind of a theme, especially with podcasters, like they're really making it for ourselves. And I'm not saying that in a selfish or narcissistic way. It's that if you like, we have to be really stoked on what we're doing, because this is a lot of work. And I want to be happy with what I'm doing, because I figure if this is what I want, I'm sure somebody else out there is thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah. And of the millions of people who listen to podcasts, I'm like, okay, you might connect with those people, and you might not connect with like the hugest audience or whatever. And then music, guitar podcasts are completely different than, say, your NPR or your murder mystery podcast or your comedy podcast. Like,
right.
I mean, sometimes you think about it like, oh man, you think of the huge audience that like a comedy podcast has, and sometimes they don't put any production value into that, and they just like, and you're like, man, dang. But you keep going because this is what you like to do. It's really the passion thing. And I don't mean to compare it to a band, but I'm like, if you love what you do with your band, it's really not a chore, because you're like creating something that you're proud of.
Absolutely.
And if like,
it's very rewarding.
Yeah, no, if only certain amount of people like it, but these other people don't, it's like, cool, I'm true to myself and I'm proud of it. And that's what we do. And I know how to say with a podcast, so sometimes we just joke around of like, so what's your favorite type of hot dog? And then people they listen to it, and then they can get involved with the group, with the Instagram, stuff like that. And it's fun. It's cool. And it's also really fun to hear the feedback too.
Absolutely.
You just made me started thinking about what is my favorite hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite hot dog, Jared?
I've got some that's made out of brisket.
Hey, Jared, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kiss, marry, kill.
Kiss, marry, kill. A hot dog, a chili dog, or a corn dog?
Ugh.
Kiss, marry, kill. Is it one or the other?
No,
you gotta like which one are you
kiss,
gotta categorize
marry,
each
kill to
one.
of those. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know
He's
what the hell
he's
that
racking his brain.
He just mouth just so we're being
On the
transparent.
spot.
He shook his head. He goes,
Kiss, marry, kill. I've never heard of that. I don't know what that
well,
means.
there's.
Oh,
this is
okay.
the-
You
this
got to
is
think
the
of like,
clean
okay, which
version
one
of
is your
that.
favorite? Which one's your second favorite?
Which one would you kiss? Which one would you marry? And which one would you kill?
Wait, it's a bit that we do on our show. So it's like, okay, which one's your favorite? Which one's your second favorite? Which one's your least favorite?
Not to hijack your show or anything. But
No. You're all good.
I thought we could rip.
The corn dog
He's
is
thinking.
number one.
boom.
It's got to
Really?
have ketchup on it, though.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
No self-respecting person puts
Yeah.
ketchup on a hot
No.
dog,
Or a
There
corn
you
dog.
go.
especially on a corn.
Tony is my man.
It's mustard. That's it.
I can do that on a regular hot dog, just mustard.
And celery salt.
But on the chili dog,
Stadium mustard or yellow mustard?
stadium.
Well, he just about.
Or
I love to go to-
jumped out of
how
his
about
chair
Grey
right there.
Poupon?
What's the difference between stadium mustard and regular mustard?
Well, stadium's a little darker and spicier.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Don't you know
I
nothing?
go to the baseball park all the time with my
What kind of hot dog connoisseurs are you?
We don't go to the baseball park.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And then
Beef,
the
or,
chili
beef
dog.
or pork or turkey?
Probably
I'll have
pork.
them all.
Beef.
Yes.
Nothing better than a beef dog.
Beef or pork.
No turkey?
Why would you eat a
Nah.
turkey dog? It's
That's
low
too
in fat.
healthy.
so why
It's
are you eating a
like
hot
you're
dog?
punishing yourself.
It was the last pack at the grocery store. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, you bring it and everybody hates you at the barbecue.
It was this or tofurkey.
Tofurkey.
Oh, geez, it's a rough one, I tell you.
Oh, jeez. So, dudes, you when you said something very interesting about when if you comparing it to a band, and I think most, at least probably half of our audience has played or is playing in a band. One of the things that goes along with that is the old adage of if you're doing something you love, it shouldn't feel like work. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is I think it's more rewarding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's that struggle, baby.
Yeah, I mean, you're I mean, because you're actually, putting effort into it. Because you can be so, like, I don't know, apathetic and be, I don't care, whatever, da da da. And then, that really shows. I don't know. It's like, I feel like people nowadays, like, because you can choose your own adventure, like, entertainment wise, so much with, like, I don't know, what you listen to, what you watch, what, where you go to eat, everything is so, like, you can pick everything. And
everything
so if you like,
custom.
yeah. And if you like, okay, I want to listen to a podcast, but I'm listening to these people and they're fake and they're kind of boring. They're phoning it in. They don't even care. Then why should I care?
Absolutely.
It's a thing with your band. Nobody is going to ever care more about your music than you.
That is
how much do
totally
you
true.
care about it?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with our podcast. I'm like, we, joke around and stuff like that and have fun because we really actually literally enjoy each other's company, and we turn on the mics and we have a conversation. I'm like, sometimes we're just literally catching up. I'm like, I haven't seen you in 5 days. What's going on? And we've been friends forever. I'm like, I really like that, and people pick up on that. And sometimes people are like, man, you guys are all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it's like, I don't know, we just like having conversation, and like we'll a friend had mentioned, I'm like, oh, we're talking, who listens to the podcast, we're like, getting a beer, hanging out and stuff like that. We're like, just at a brewery, and somebody's like, man, you guys are riffing back and forth like you guys are on mic. Missed opportunity. Why didn't you bring a portable mic? Because it's just like we're back and forth, like catching a joke. Here's this, like I'm riffing on this. Like we're at a show, and Kyle was with our drummer joking around with another friend, and then the friend who is a fan of the podcast is like, "This is such a wasted opportunity. This would have been a great bit for the show."
Yeah.
And it's like you can catch those kind of things. I don't know. It's just really how Kyle and I have been. We've like really, really have been through a lot together, but it's like how we connect is like through lighthearted stuff.
We're like brothers.
It is really, truly. Like I would say I've never had a brother, but Kyle's my brother.
There you go.
Aww.
And it's like, it's a fun thing, and it's super like genuine if you can see it like in our conversations. And we tackle stuff from our perspective about gear and music.
And sometimes we backtrack on things,
Yeah,
sometimes we're wrong.
Yeah, we don't know stuff. We like
sometimes we make a firm stance, and then like 2 weeks later, like, oh, that was dumb.
You know what? And I think our listeners are like, yeah, I don't take you guys for like, I don't listen to you for information.
Yeah,
I listen to you for entertainment. And I think that's really cool, because I'm like, with our band, when you're on stage, you want to be an entertainer.
Yeah,
you want to be like the let me entertain you. It's like that's what we want to do with the show, and that's exactly what we do. It's like we can feel when there's low energy, we try and pick it up and stuff like that. It's like it's with you guys, because you're in studio together, so you can kind of feel that vibe back and forth. And just having that on mic is like, it's like the lightning in the bottle.
Absolutely.
That's what is so special about your guys' show. The three of you, or whoever's in studio with you guys, riffing with the guest. I'm like, you can feel each other. You can feel like, okay, what's happening next? What should we talk about? What should we do? And it's fun. It's super cool. And it's like you were saying, it's not really work, but it kind of is when it comes to the editing part. Todd knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we can make it really easy on Todd, or we can really, really make it hard for Todd to edit.
Yeah, like, what did you do
making
this
fart
week,
noises,
Todd?
Yeah.
A lot of bleed and everything. Yeah.
But you bring up a good point, is that nobody, like especially if you're playing, the point isn't to say, look how hard I worked at this, making the song. Love it. It's not about that.
That's Todd.
Yeah.
But in the back of your, but no.
That came across on the
You're
mic.
laughing awful hard, Tony.
I felt that.
Yeah.
I'm in San Diego.
I'm gonna echo what he just said. But in the back of your head, you're going, when you're playing, you're like, you're liking this, right? And in the back of your head, going like, I worked really hard on this. This is important to me, and you're getting it. And that's where, for me, that's where the thing goes like, yeah.
I think it's back at Todd's mind. It's please love me. Please love me.
But when they do, it's a big reward when people appreciate what you do.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true.
Yes.
We'll
let Tony have his fun.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, it's totally a fun thing, and especially once you guys know, it's like with like the feedback that you get, it's like sometimes you don't know like who's listening. What is it? You know, you could kill yourself all day just thinking about metrics and what about this? So what about that? But like, no. But once you get the actual interaction with people, it's like, oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Oh my God, when you guys talked about this, that really, you know, and you know, it's so cool. It's so fun because you sometimes like you're saying, it's like, am I just talking into a microphone that's running into an interface, and then I put a waveform out? All right, cool.
Yeah. It makes you want to continuously do better every time, though. You know, it's not just like, all right, I made it. I'm plateauing right now. You just always do better, and that's what we try and do.
That's good.
Yeah.
And just the note to everybody that is listening to our show and your show, you know, we say this all the time, but it truly makes a difference to us. This is one of the few mediums where we can actually say, no, honest, tell us what you think. Send us your information. Share with us. Join in the conversation and the experience. There's not a lot of other mediums that you can actually do that to the extent that you can with us. And it you know, we all love the thing that we're talking about, which is music and gear and everything. So why wouldn't we want that?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, dudes, we really thank you for joining us and hanging out and having a good time and letting everybody kind of know what your show is about.
I guess we're just rambling. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good, man. It's like that's what a lot of this stuff is about, is just sharing and getting familiar. And if you have an inkling of wanting to go check them out, then just do it. Go listen to the show, Tone Jerks, and learn some stuff. Maybe a little bit of stuff, have some fun times.
Totally.
Well, I guess we've come to that time of the show where I sing a little ditty, and it goes like this. Would you rather?
Nice. All right.
I had to do the deluxe version.
Yeah.
Do a deluxe version for the Tone Jerks here. So
And extra tone.
that's right, man.
Extra jerks.
That's me. So
Hey, take it easy there. I don't know what you guys are doing in Ohio.
yeah. So this one's brought to us by our friend Cody Foster.
Yes. Sponsor the show.
That's right.
Executive producer, I believe.
Yes.
Would you rather get to play a show with your absolute biggest musical hero of all time in front of the size of the crowd of your choosing with a set list of your choice, but you can never play that music again after that experience?
Or
Right. You're right, Tony. There's more.
There's more.
I'm sitting on the edge of my seat right now.
Here's the other thing. You could be given a rig by the same musician that they themselves use, but never meet them. So you're never going to meet the people that give you this stuff. And you're never going to be allowed to play another piece of gear other than that rig that they give you.
Dang.
wow.
It's very specific.
Dang.
Yeah.
That one's, for sure.
Really
To get a
tough.
lawyer to read this.
Yeah.
I know.
That's what I was saying. I can't believe I got through it.
for early withdrawal.
So-
member FDIC.
So
right.
let's put this into context. Just so that we're following along. If you're driving and you're stuck in traffic, you might already be lost. I'm not really sure. So you get to play on stage with Jimmy Page all the songs that you want to, but you can never play that music again, ever.
That's right.
Or you get Jimmy Page's rig, but that's the only thing you can ever play.
You can't
and
meet
you
him
never
either.
meet him or anything.
well,
You're not allowed to play any other gear ever again.
do they like erase your memory after the gig so that you can't
that's
play
not,
it
that's
again?
not
Like
that's
on
not
Men
a
in
thing.
Black.
I need the
No.
facts. I need to know.
No.
Big Willie style comes in with a.
That's
Yeah.
right.
What?
This is not MIB. Just,
Okay.
All right. And we got it. Tony, go.
Gosh, I think I'm going to go with choice A, where I get to play with a idol of my choice, Clay Aiken. No.
No. All right.
That Clay is just spectacular.
Yes.
No, I don't know. I figure I'll think of somebody to play with. I don't care. And I would like a nice medium-sized audience.
Medium size?
under 10,000 people. I mean, that's a step down for me, but
Sure.
yeah. And then I guess when my memory is wiped out and I can no longer play those songs, I'll just learn something new. So that's what I'm going with. I think that would be cool just for the experience of playing with someone with whom you admire.
Yeah.
With whom you admire?
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I'm saying.
Yep.
I was trying not to end on a preposition. I'm sorry, but I wasn't going to end on a preposition anyhow.
Okay. I'm going to hop over to Brian.
Okay. I think this one's might be, this one this one might be a little easy
thinking
because
this one's, gonna
choose
The two Utes.
the Utes. Excuse me, Utes. So I mean, I think option A is kind of the easy go-to, but I'm gonna go against the grain here.
All right.
I'm gonna go option B.
Thank you.
Because I'm gonna choose Pete Thorne's whole rig. He's got killer amps. He's got multi effects. He's got the cab sims. He's got the cabs. He's got the everything. And I'm choosing everything he has.
In the
You're clearing
room,
him
in
out.
his demo room.
Yeah, I want everything in his demo
That's
room.
his rig, I guess.
That's his rig. Hey, that's his rig. And he's got he's got the Sirs, he's got the all the Friedmans, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm taking all that. And the thing is, I've seen him at NAMM. I've just been a little too shy to say hi to him.
Yeah.
But if I never met him, that's what I'm like. Hey,
Thanks for the gear.
thanks, bro.
I'll send him a thank you note.
Yeah.
I'll tag him on the gram. I'm like,
Thanks
got
for
your
the gear.
stuff, dude.
Hope you can start over.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's all I say. It's like, yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna go Pete Thorne. I'm a big fan of his, at least on YouTube, and his album's pretty cool too. And he's a cool guy, instrumental. He seems like a cool guy, I would say. But yeah, that's my choice because I don't think a lot of people are going to choose option B.
Okay, Jared, I think we might have a B here.
Yeah, definitely a B.
All right.
Yeah.
Did I call it earlier?
Yeah.
I did, didn't I? I knew it.
See, now this is I get to go first every time, and everybody
Shut up,
gangs
old man.
up. All right, get off my lawn.
That's right. Yeah, I'm definitely going with B because you'll be able to have the gear forever. And I mean, of course, I want Jimmy Page's, like I mentioned in my, guitar stuff week or whatever. Mm-hmm. I want Jimmy Page's, his double neck SG. I mean, the quintessential stuff that everybody wants, right? Everybody wants that stuff. I'll take that too. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'll take, all of his Les Pauls, the SG, the Martin, the Dan Electro and all the amps and schmamps and whatevers and whatnots.
You guys are just so shallow.
I know. And I admit it. And also the Ferriman and the Echoplex.
Oh, dang, yeah.
And all of that fun, awesome
You get
stuff.
all of it, that big old semi.
But I never get to meet Jimmy Page. If I actually met Jimmy Page, he'd meet me and remember me for 3 seconds and never remember me again. So it's just the same.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah.
Bye.
Or what if he just really wants a friend, man?
Yes.
Jimmy Page?
Yeah, he probably needs a friend. Everybody they're afraid of him.
He's like, wow, hey, can we be your friend? Nobody's ever asked that.
I know.
How cool would that be?
All right.
Yeah.
We could be friends.
All right. So you got B. How about Kyle?
All right, so man, I'm having a struggle here. This is tough. This is really hard. Yeah. Probably just take Brian May's gear. I'll just take it.
Yeah.
Just give it.
That's a good one.
Just
All
sorry,
two
dude.
pieces.
Yeah, exactly. But it would be those.
No, it
The
comes
original
with,
one and all the copies.
Yeah.
it comes with like a million AC30.
Exactly.
Right.
Have you seen the interview with him when he's pointing at the stack? He's like, "That's the only one that works." He's got one. He's playing one on stage. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take all the dummies though. I'll take them all. That's part of the rig.
Figure it out, dude. Get a fractal.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's see. I'm going number one. I'm going with number one.
Finally,
Okay, I could see
somebody
that.
did.
Yeah.
They're not
I
ganging
thought
up on me.
Who are you
Option A
playing
was going to be the popular one.
I'm taking A. I'm taking A.
Who are you playing with?
So I'm not going to go with like my my dream, my favorite band. It's like,
That's dumb.
I'm going to play. No, it's not, because I'm going to play Nebworth with the Hives.
Oh, that's tight.
That would be such an amazing experience, because like nobody brings it to the stage like those guys.
Dang.
So that's what I'm doing, to the biggest freaking crowd that I can. I don't even want to see the end of the crowd. I won't be able to see the end. That's what I want. I just want it. I want as big. I want it all. Yeah.
Do they have
That's
to like
tight.
you?
No.
Please like me.
I just get to play with them, and I get to wear a
Please
cool
love
suit
me.
too, whatever the suit du jour
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
tour is.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Dang.
I love it.
All right.
That's a
I
good
mean,
one.
yeah.
Well, finally,
Yeah.
no, everybody didn't. Thank you, Todd, for not joining in with the gang of thugs and ganging up on me. You're all
That
thugs.
does really happen to you every
Yeah.
episode,
I mean,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
We're all thieves, just stealing those
Yeah.
vintage.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Hey, everybody, let's not pick what Tony
the
picked.
two Utes.
Yeah, sorry, Pete.
The
Thorne, I'm
tributes.
stealing all your stuff.
Tony, you got a couple. We all have a couple people to thank. Can do that
We
real
all
quick?
do.
All right.
Even the tone jerks have
Yeah.
to thank them.
Definitely.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. At this point in the show, we like to thank a special group of people called Executive Producers.
Oh, did you guys just work on that?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're like
All right.
brothers,
Except different.
only different.
Yeah.
Only Jared's
Yeah.
taller and meaner.
Right.
But anyhow, executive producers are
They're
members
foundation
of our
show.
They're members of our Patreon family.
Yes.
And you may be asking yourself as you're driving down the road, how can I become an executive producer? Mm-hmm. It's real simple. You head over to patreon.com/the guitar knobs. Once you're there, you will see several levels in which you can participate.
Yes.
And each level has its own amount of swag, if you will, including picks and barefoot buttons and T-shirts and stickers
Pins
and
and
pins
keychains
and voodoo dolls
And you get
lie.
you get all the giveaway stuff.
yeah, you
We're-
automatically qualify for all the Fantastico gear giveaways
Yes,
that we've
sir.
been doing. I mean, it's incredible the amount of stuff that is given away.
I wish I was a patron of this show.
I think I'm going to just become a patron.
You should.
Anyhow, the executive producer level has all that fun stuff. Plus, Jared, what happens?
You have your name right on the thing.
And that's what I'm going to do right now.
That's right.
Read on the thing.
Without further ado,
That's right.
let's thank Tom Barazin,
Yeah.
our first and original. Martin Cliff, John Daly, John S. Chris Kearney, Darren Gregory, Doug Christ, Michael Van Zant.
Oh, Doug Christ.
You know Doug? Shout out to Doug.
Oh, we know Doug Chris. He's he's a tone jerker too.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Okay.
Michael Van Zant, Brad Partridge, Corey Nagro, Ken Sayers, Jonathan Jerusik, Brian Robison, Michael Senchuk, Stefan Lamb, Johnny Knowles, Anthony Lathrop, John Anglin, Tyler Bray, Ty Harmon, Chris Heidel, John Esterly, Tim Nowak, Doug Gann, David
Hey.
Kaminga,
David.
Tommy Manasco, Justin Jones, Cody Lane, and of course, Cody Foster.
Cody Foster.
Cody.
Thank you guys all for doing that. And I want to point out something. You know, Tone Jerks here just shout out to a couple people that are on theirs. We know that some of these people are supporting many of the guitar podcasts. You are supporting the guitar community, not only the podcast community, but specifically the guitar community, and that is so very appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, not to step on you, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
It really makes a huge difference. I'm like, that people do support what you guys do. I know you guys put a lot more effort than we do, I guess. And
Don't sell yourself short.
it's so cool to like when people do support, even at like a $1 level or whatever. And it's so awesome. Like if you guys like could quantify that excitement that you get, like people are listening. They like it. They're supporting it. Oh my God. They're so excited to get a sticker, a pedal, or, like a pedal button or whatever. It's so fun. I couldn't hold myself back a little bit.
No,
Sorry about that.
Totally. Every single show. Every time that I get a message from somebody from Patreon or we get a new one, I ping them immediately and I'm like exclamation points and everything. This matters greatly to us, and we thank you all for supporting our shows.
Exactly. I mean, because we're all doing this stuff in our free time. We're hanging out on a Friday night, talking to each other over
a couple of bros,
over online, and we're just having fun. And we're it's like the fact that people support it and dig it. It's so awesome.
Indeed.
I agree.
So let's see. People can go and support you where?
Well, I mean, listen to the show. You don't have to support us if you don't want to. Mm-hmm. But, search the Tone Jerks on your, whatever you're listening to this show on. We're on there. And then you can go to Instagram and search the Tone Jerks. You'll find us. We're, posting stuff every day. And then, we have a Facebook group, much like Guitar Knobs. You can join that group. It's a little different atmosphere over there. A little looser over there. And then, if we do have a Patreon too. I'm not going to plug that, but
plug it.
Same thing.
We have Patreon.
Yeah,
awesome.
And we do extra episodes every week. If you guys for $2 a month. Yeah,
that's a really good idea.
Fantastic, man.
I mean, we're brothers in this whole thing, and I'm so glad. I'm not like Kyle's telling me to shut up, but I'm like,
stop talking.
I'm very
doing the mom thing.
Kyle, you have a Tony too, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like super like.
I'm like gritting my teeth over here, like
shut up. I'm a big fan of you guys, so I'm like,
thank
when
you.
you guys like hit us up, like, hey, you want to be on the show? I'm like, I like lost it. I texted the cop like, oh my goodness.
Nice.
I didn't say that. I said
best
maybe
day ever.
Nice.
Yeah, I was super stoked. It's like when Senpai notices you.
I confirm with Todd. Like I will bulldoze every time I try to talk. I have
every
to.
time.
I have to, or else I can't. I don't get a chance to talk.
Like a bull in China. What are you talking about? You have an hour and a half to talk.
Whenever I try, you're like, don't interrupt them. What are you doing?
Well, don't. There's no way to do it. We're not doing it.
I confirmed with Todd when I did not want to miss his podcast. I mean, I didn't. I confirmed with Todd twice. I think.
Yeah.
Sure
I was super stoked, and I'm like, I was like, you guys can cut all this part out too. But I'm like, it was so much fun. I was like super excited, and you guys definitely were an inspiration for me starting the Tone Jerks.
Wow, that's nice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
The Tone Jerks probably wouldn't be a thing if you guys weren't doing what you started.
Well, if you go over to patreon.com
go. Anyways, okay, Tony, where can people find you?
Let's just say you need a special pick guard. You're trying to replace something. You're trying to redo something. Go over to pickguardian.com and contact me via email. You can see some of the things I do and offer. If you want to see some of these little projects and things that we talk about from time to time, go over to Instagram to Pick Guardian and the number 1.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Jared?
If you are in need of new pickups, old pickups, or a rewind, go to BrandonWoundPickups.com.
Get yourself some great sounding pickups over there.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Just get a hold of me or something.
You can drop me an email, Todd at theguitarknobs.com. Love to hear from you. You can share anything you like you can DM me at Guitar Knobs on Instagram. Tell us what your would you rather is. We love doing that part of the episode, and we love getting new ones from you guys. You always think of great ones, so keep sending them in, and make sure you go support and listen to the Tone Jerks. And we thank Brian and Kyle for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure talking with you guys. Thank you for doing what you're doing and adding to our guitar community.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us.
We're not
thanks so much for having us.
sign off yet, you goons.
No. But I really felt, good about that.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. What a mess. I got to get some food, and these guys are falling apart. Hey, everybody, have an awesome Guitar Week. And you guys want to say it with us? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Subscribe!
All right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you, homeboys. Fiddlesticks.
Jared, are you ready?
Almost. My grandma used to say that.
No, don't. Just,
fiddlesticks.
No,
What? Fiddlesticks.
This is par for the course here.
Riveting. Why don't you proofread it?
Hang on.
So you don't think I'm an idiot. Thanks. That's too late.
Ready? Thanks, guys. It was been a super good time.
You fall apart at the end.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.